So many people were so excited to see the prices of building here in Russia. So today I bring you to the shores of Lake Baikal. I have a great friend, Alexei, who has invited us and is willing to give us full access to this new building site. You're going to see the prices, you're going to see how much it cost. And let me tell you, I am extremely grateful for this opportunity because this is the shores of the largest lake in the world. So if you want to have a vacation home here, now this is the video to pay attention to. Now, before we get into the prices of the building material and the construction, I do want to let you know that this lot here next to where we're building right now, this actually cost 1 million rubles, which is roughly about $10,000. That is exactly how much we paid for our plot. And this one is perhaps 5-minute walk from Lake Baikal. So this one is optimal. So there is still land for sale in this area right next to Lake Baikal. This is around 1,200 square meters. This is a pretty decent sized plot. And like I said, you're looking at about 1 million rubles or about $10,000, a little bit more than that. And actually, we started this video on the top floor. We're gonna go down and show you the beginning, the base level. But let me know if you think it's worth it. If you think 1 million rubles for that plot of land is worth it. Now we made it to the bottom floor. These are the modulars. These modulars are actually delivered in this state. You see the windows, you see the doors. We're gonna go inside, but I want you to know that this is how they deliver them. All three of these were sold together in a package for 1,700,000 rubles. And they have the windows, the doors, and the electric already inside. They deliver them whole. I'm going to show you 3 of these rooms in 3 different states. Remember, this is 1,700,000 rubles. Let's look how they look inside. They are not done by any means. They're being worked on as we speak. But I wanted to give you guys the information on prices in case you want to buy land like the one I showed you or start your own project here in Russia. We're inside one of the modulars. You can see that actually it's bare. There's nothing here, but we're expecting that, right? You can see there's different wires, electrical wires. This comes already from the factory this way. It also has the drywall and the insulation inside of the walls. Some of the excess material is here on the floor. You can see this is some of the insulation. Over here they have some electrical boxes. But the module here comes especially ready for however you design it. You can put windows, you can put doors facing whichever way you want. And these windows and this door is actually facing Lake Baikal. So you have to imagine when this one is done, it's going to have heated floor, which I'm going to show you a little bit later how that's going to work. But you're going to be able to see Lake Baikal as you're coming out. What you're looking at here is the motherboard for the floor heating. This is where everything is going to circulate from. Now these are basically tubes that will run this liquid and it'll heat the floor. This liquid will run through these pipes and it'll go into this machine, I guess, and heat it up. I think that's how it works. I never knew any technology like this before I came to Russia, but this seems to be the standard thing to use. Now, what I'm going to let you know, the price is 100,000 rubles will heat not only this floor, but the next floor. This is the material for all 3 modulars. And what they're doing on the other side is laying some of this insulation foam down on the next room. So I'm going to show you how they're doing that. But just know this setup for these 3 rooms is 100,000 rubles and the labor is 35,000 rubles. Let's go check out how they're working on the other room. In this room, the biggest difference is that the floor is covered by the foam that I showed you. The price that I gave you also includes this foam style insulation. Now, if you look on the floor, it's all covered in this. All of the floor is covered in this type of material. And after this, there's going to be a plastic laid on top, and then it's going to be the pipes that are heated, and then it's going to be the floor. But you could already tell the difference in this room. They're already working on the floor. And so this is not usually how I've ever done it in the United States, but you're going to be putting down that foam, then this plastic, and it's going to be, there's going to use staples to staple it down, right? Then they're going to put the wires with the fluid. Then they're going to put cement on top of that, and then finally put their tile down. This is the type of tile that they're going to be putting in this place. This is how it works basically. No, for me it looks a little bit alien, I guess, but all it is this plastic is being set down and they staple it in place. And that's essentially what they're doing. Stapling down this plastic floor on top of the foam because they will be putting cement on top. It's just fascinating. And you know, it seems a lot easier because in America you have to cut the tile. We just have straight cement. You cut the tile on the machine and you lay it down. And here you just cut this foam and you can see all the different work they've done, because some of these pieces are corner pieces and they have to fit around the drywall. I mean, essentially it's just different way of doing it, different materials, but the same plan in the end. This is the machine that we showed you on the other room. You can see it's mounted, and actually, because I don't know how to operate it, I'm not going to be able to explain a lot, but what I do gather from looking at it is that it has buttons here that control just how much energy you're going to be putting into the lines, and you have a main thermostat here that can control the heating. The lines will eventually be rolled out on the floor, but they can be individually controlled through these thermostats you see here, right? Each one can be controlled so that if one room doesn't need to be heated, it can be turned off. This regulates the heat all together combined. This is what's going to do the heating. We're going to be looking at how they lay this hose down on the ground, but I want to know if this is how they do it in your country. Some countries like Canada, Finland, Sweden, they're as cold as this part of Russia. And is this how you guys heat your houses? Because this to me is new. Like I mentioned, we don't use this in California or in Mexico, but this is definitely really cool. And this may be the way that I end up heating our house, right? This is going to be the way we may end up heating our house in the future, the one that we're going to build here in Russia, with this hose and liquid in the hose on the floor. Let's see how they lay it down. We saw the plastic being laid, and now they have this mesh, like wire mesh, this quadratic mesh here with wires, because this is what they're gonna roll or tie the hose down to. And they put also a padding on the edges here. I'm guessing because in the future they're gonna lay some sort of cement on top. I'm not sure, but you see the process is moving along. This, to me, I was told, is basically the standard way of heating a room or a house, and I'm just so happy to be able to look at the process because now I know exactly how it's going to be done in our house. We saw him unroll this. As I'm touching it, it's really, really firm, and he's about to lay it down on the ground. And you know, the liquid runs through this. We're just gonna see how he does it and shadow a little bit and not get in his way.
Кто? Последний, каждый день.
As we were talking, they're using these zip ties and putting it down to this wire metal mesh here on the bottom. This is going to secure the plastic, or I don't know what this material is, right? But that's going to be what runs the liquid, and it's going to be what heats up the floor. To me, it seems like basic technology. I've never seen it before, but it seems to be the way they do it here. I want to know if you guys do it in your country. They're doing a serpentine design here on the floor. So it's like a little circuit wire, and this is going to concentrate the heat, and then they'll go to the next spot and do a serpentine there. They'll do it all over in every room. They're going to continue to work inside. We're going to go downstairs and show you what the entire thing looks like from downstairs. The outside of the building comes in this style. This is birch planks here on the outside. Now, everything that you see is from factory, right? But if you wanted to say put a window here, you could. But I'm just showing you the outside of this building. It comes as is. It's basically Lego pieces. Inside, they're already starting the floor. We showed you that. You can do the rest yourself, or you can hire people to do the work for you. I'm giving you the prices of materials and the prices of labor. Prices do vary depending on what part of Russia you're living in. Now, we started the video upstairs because yes, this is different levels to this. Not only is the foundation risen, but there's also a module on top. And that module was put up there with a crane. And that was done from the owner by himself, right? But you could essentially have these guys side by side, whichever direction you want. They're like Lego pieces. And I told you the price for them. I don't know, is it worth it for you? For me, it's definitely worth it if you know how to do the work, or you have the resources to actually finish these things and make a house or make rentals out of them. This building was built on a foundation that is on these type of planks. Now, I don't know what they're called, but it's not like a slab, obviously, because it's risen and it's on an angle, it's on a hill, so it's leveled on these different pillars. This is like a pillar foundation, and I want to show you what it looks like, and then I want to give you the price. And actually, in this area, this is probably the most optimal form of foundation, as we are in some sort of incline or decline into Lake Baikal. Now, these pillars were made by concrete and rebar. They are into the ground 4 meters, and there's 20 of these sustaining the building on top. The pillars themselves were made locally, and the top has these metal frames which connects these long pieces of wood that is making up the floor of this structure here. The floor that they made is actually holding up the modules, right? Because the floor didn't come with the modules. You have to make your own foundation, and they set the modules wherever you want them. So this is the style foundation they have. This cost 200,000. It was around 150 for the material, and the labor cost was around 50,000 rubles. We're gonna go back up to the top module because the views on the top one are beautiful. And this is just the temporary stairs. Obviously, there's going to be normal stairs going up to this place, and a whole patio is going to be built up there. And actually, the top module is one of the last ones that they're going to finish here, so it's in bare condition. There we can see exactly how it looks like when you buy it. And but this place is lovely for its views. Here in Russia, It's views, 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 and there's nothing better than Lake Baikal. So let's go take a look. We'll just go up these stairs and show you how it looks like. The sun in this area rises right over there, right behind this ridge on Lake Baikal, and it travels across the sky and sets behind us. Let's look at this naked module, and then we'll take a look at more of the surrounding area here. One thing to note is that these buildings here, these are not for living. These are like tourist Airbnb style rooms, right? But you could have put all three together to make an actual house. In America, it's very common to buy tiny homes. And I told you the price is $1,700,000, which is a little bit more than $17,000. In America, there's people trying to build houses for like $40,000, $50,000, and those are tiny homes. So I think actually, now that I'm looking around, I guess this one room, which is on top, could have been used for the living room, and one room downstairs could have been used as the kitchen, and another room could have been used as the bedroom. So altogether, you could have bought basically a normal sized house for $17,000. In my opinion, if I knew how to do most of the work after, because it comes with the drywall, the electric, if you know how to do that work, it's a really good investment to buy some land and buy something like this. But because this is not being used as a full house, this is actually one room, and it's going to be this main bedroom. It has space for a shower in this corner here. The lighting's going to be a little bit off maybe, but this is the inside for the shower. And then you're going to have your toilet here and your sink. All of the plumbing had to be done by the owner. And I'm going to give you the price a little bit later when we go downstairs and show you what it looks like in the other rooms. But this is the top room. All of these rooms, 1,700,000 rubles. They could have been used in any which way they wanted. And that's why I think actually it's pretty good. It's a good deal. As you can see, this area not only has Lake Baikal, but on the background, when it's spring, when it's summer, it's going to be filled with this birch forest behind you. I know it looks dead, but guys, this is a place that has seasons. Some of the northern states in the United States go through this if they don't have only evergreens. Birch are not evergreens. You do have these style of pine trees, and the forest behind in summer and spring looks absolutely fantastic. This is a lovely area. This is basically a national park for Russia on the shores of Lake Baikal. The majority of the houses around Lake Baikal get their water from wells just like this. And what the well is basically they bring a big drill, and they're kind of like drilling for oil, but it's drilling for water. This one here is 57 meters deep. That's insane. I didn't even know that you could drill that far for water. Apparently it's normal in some areas, but it's just a funny thing because Lake Baikal is right here. This is the biggest body of water in volume. You could have probably put a pipe straight to Lake Baikal from here. And yeah, they had to dig pretty deep for their water. The majority, like I said, they get their water from the floor, but there is some houses that are hooked up for the city line of water. Something else that's also very common is having septic tanks. Now, I was going to give you a guess what you thought this one was, but you don't want to fall into this one. This one's very deep as well, and it's full of poop and pee. The way that it's built, it's going to decompose itself over time, and it goes back into the ground, back into nature. As long as you're not throwing any paper or chemicals in this hole, it should all be fine. This is the septic tank. I didn't know that the plumbing below and this one that you see here comes already in the price of the module, guys. So the plumbing, the electric, and the drywall, the insulation is already there for you. The extra cost is obviously going to be like something like this that connects to the toilet. All of that stuff you have to do yourself. So disregard the price on the plumbing. In America, building small homes, I haven't heard of something like this, but comment down below if in your country something like this exists, or you can buy it already with the walls, with the electricity, with the plumbing already done. Behind me now, you can truly appreciate how the design looks, right? I told you you could stack them however you want. You got basically 3 modules that are 7 by 3.5 meters, 7 meters by 3.5 meters. Altogether, it's a little bit over 70 square meters. And you saw the top one is stacked on 2 below. You can essentially have them in a straight line, have them side by sides long ways, put 2 on the bottom, 1 on top. And if you want to get weird, you can put 3 on top, like 1 on top of each other. Whatever you can design, whatever you can engineer, you can do. The total cost I told you, bare, just with the electric, the walls, and the plumbing. For these 3, you're going to look at $1,700,000. This video was educational. We're not advertising anything. It's just so that you can get the information that you're looking for. This is how it is, guys. If you want, you can buy the house, you can buy the land next door and build something like this here in Russia. You can do it anywhere, in any territory. Things like this exist all over Russia. So give me all your comments down below, and we'll see you again on the next one from the shores of Lake Baikal.